I think that there are far more reasons not to read Sunrise on the Reaping than there are to read the book. Why, you ask? Well, let's start with my why you should read this book. There are two main amazing reasons that you should read this book, and one of them is that the world building of the capital and the districts is so much better than 1, 2, or 3. You really get a well-rounded idea of the capital and the districts that you don't in 1, 2, and 3, because 1, 2, and 3 are very black and white, good versus evil, and here you have what actually probably exists in the world. Not everything is good and not everything is evil, and you see that in this novel. The second reason to read the book is that it is amazingly written. You really get into the psychological aspect of Haymitch, and you see everything that is going on inside his head and all of his worries and everything, a lot more so even than you did with Katniss. The third reason is that Suzanne continues to be such an amazing storyteller, because she could literally make going to the bathroom sound like prose. She's just incredible like that. Having said that, here's what I didn't like about the book. You probably know the story or the poem, The Raven. It used to be one of my favorites of Poe's works. It is no longer. And we can thank Suzanne for that. Why? Because she took it and she put it in over 20 times into her book. And I'm not just saying little quotes, she practically rewrote it 20 times inside the book. Nevermore, Suzanne. Another thing I don't like is I don't like her songs. The Hanging Tree was never my favorite, and it makes a reprisal. But also she has several new songs, and she doesn't just say them once, and I've just never been a fan of any of her folk songs. If you are looking for an original storyline, you are not going to find that here. I wasn't. So I wasn't disappointed, actually, but it has the exact same formula that all of the other books have. So if you think it's going to be different, it will not. There are several plot things that just kind of disappear. There's this beautiful statement how you can't control what you're given in life, only how you react to it. And nothing ever comes of that. In fact, Haymitch is quite the opposite. He actually has no progression at all. If you were looking for a hero, you will not find it in Haymitch, which may think that, okay, well, not every character evolves. Sometimes they devolve, Jolene. Well, he didn't actually devolve either. Yes, he turns into an alcoholic, but I'm going to argue that he never started out as a great, amazing person to begin with, so he couldn't have actually devolved enough. And chances are, from the life that he was having, he was probably going to end up being an alcoholic regardless of the games. There was nothing bright and shiny in his life before. He wasn't a hero. He had absolutely no skills, and he had a lot of he didn't even really like himself in the entire book. Not in the beginning or the middle or the end, for sure. So he couldn't have really, truly, maniacally devolved. So thus the book is kind of anticlimactic and sad. But not in a tearful way. But I might be also very jaded, because when everybody died in his family, I didn't really care about them enough to care that they died. So Haymitch basically has a bunch of half-ass plans that turn into half-ass plot points. Nothing that he does makes a difference in the storyline or the outcome or any changes. And some are going to argue that that's completely the point, and that you can actually make a difference and blah, 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 blah. But again, it's very anticlimactic when you've diverted us from the action for something that didn't do anything to the story at all. It did, however, successfully divert us from all of the violence so that we only see 5 deaths. So, good for that. I'm sure we all turned into the Hunger Games so that we could miss the action. So there you have it. A couple of things that I think you should totally read the book for, and lots of things. So what is my overall take? I think that this is a 5-star book, and that even though I came up with tons of reasons probably not to read the book, none of them are really significant. And the fact that she's such a great storyteller, and even if you rehashed the book I mean, she could literally write 15 more books of the exact same formula and still have amazing books because she's such a good writer. So yes, it's a 5-star book and probably should read the book. Though, for all intents and purposes, my review might sound like the opposite. Happy reading.